Every startup begins with an ambitious founder and an idea, but what inspires them to take the leap into the entrepreneurial world? I'm Peter Junho Sang, founder and CEO of Beyond Form, and welcome to our new founder series. I'll be sitting down with a few of our startup founders to hear about their journey as entrepreneurs in the fashion tech world. On today's episode, I'm sitting down with Charles Held, founder of ShoeFitr, to talk more about his personal journey of entrepreneurship. Charles was born with a physical disability and given a short timeline by doctors to live, yet he had to fight the odds. He not only survived, but used his challenge to shape the founder that he is today. With this drive to change the footwear industry, we learn from Charles how the ShoeFitr platform is using AI and fit tech to boost personalized retail on a global scale.
I was born with a physical disability, so I was born with short hands, so I don't have the middle part, what you guys have. Medical people there over at Curaçao, they thought I will not live long, so I came with, I will say, 9 days from Curaçao to the Netherlands. 37 years later, I'm still alive and breathing. I think that part shaped me to everything is possible.
Let's get stuck into Charles' founder journey on this episode of Venturing into Fashion Tech. How are you today, Charles?
I'm doing well. How are you, Peter?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm looking forward to this episode recording, as we haven't yet featured really any footwear tech solutions on our podcast just yet. So I'm looking forward to hearing about the ShoeFitr app. But before we get stuck into it, I'm just going to give a little bit of context to our listeners as to what's actually happening in the space. So in terms of virtual fitting room market size, it is projected to grow to $18.3 billion by 2030, with a compound annual growth rate of 21.2%. So it's going to be a huge industry, luckily for you, Charles, and that's according to Fortune Business Insights. But in terms of the footwear market in general, the global footwear market size is predicted to have a revenue of around $400 billion in 2023, according to Statista. So, paired with the tech side of things, we're just dealing with a huge market potential here, which is interesting to see. And we'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later on. But in terms of the virtual fitting room as a solution, that could literally mean anything. So it's very broad. So that could mean measuring the torso to specific body parts, such as the feet, the hands, and the face. And obviously, in the case of ShoeFitr, we're dealing with feet here. It can range anything from a superficial layer of imagery placed onto the body for aesthetic purposes, or it could be a solution that could be super technical to ensure accurate measurements, such as the ShoeFitr solution. And obviously with you, and I know that you are dealing with data to create a super accurate platform. But without further ado, Charles, I want to get stuck into your founder journey. Thinking about your journey, what was life growing up and how did it shape you to become the entrepreneur that you are today?
Yes, it's quite a overwhelming story and journey as well. First of all, I'm 37, I will be 38. I was born at Curaçao in the Caribbean, and I was born with a physical disability. So I was born with short hands, so I don't have the middle part, what you guys have. Medical people there over at Curaçao, they thought I will not live long. So I came with, I will say, 9 days from Curaçao to the Netherlands, because around that time, the medical treatment was better here, more advanced as well. So I will say, 37 years later, I'm still alive and breathing. And I think that part shaped me to everything is possible. So that's my motto, my journey and how I live by. So if I see something and if someone says, hey, that's a difficult task to do or something else like that, and I will say, no, it's not difficult because I overcome a lot. So, and I think that is the same rule that I apply in my entrepreneurial journey.
And in terms of having a disability and being a founder, being an entrepreneur, do you think that has affected you in any way?
I will say no, because I'm also someone that I always say it's how you are dealing with it, and I'm dealing it with normal. So when I make meetings online or when I calling And when I go physical to my appointments, then yeah, they will see, and then they ask you, hey, do I need to help you with coffee, or putting sugar or milk in your coffee? But that's majority the only things that you're dealing with. But I will say not in the business negotiation and that kind of things. I know there's a lot of stigma around racism and that kind of things, but yeah, I did not never deal with that kind of things.
So it's good to hear that you've not found any challenges from that specific side of things so far, because I do know that in terms of founders with a disability of some sort, whether that's a physical disability or a mental disability, they are still a minority in the whole landscape of entrepreneurship. And I think it's obviously admirable that you are still making a good go of it and not letting it define who you are. How did you actually decide to become an entrepreneur? Did you just like wake up one day and be like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur and start ShoeFitr? How did that come about?
No, I think from my younger childhood, so I love to selling things. I did sell clothing, eventually also fireworks, but yeah, I think that's a little bit how it came about, that you want to sell something, and eventually, of course, with ShoeFitr was that I found a problem in the market, and I thought, hey, there must be a solution for it. And around that time, there were some solutions out there, but not sufficient enough. And you also see that the solutions that were back then, they don't did make it till this date.
And obviously, you mentioned that a problem. What was that problem specifically?
There's also a little bit of personal touch as well, because I'm not that very tall. So my shoes of my feet are very, I will say, I wear between European size 36 and 37 on some shoes. So it's a challenging task when you buy shoes online to getting the right size. So I will say, if some site don't use ShoeFitr, I will not buy shoes online. So that's the common thing till this date.
So that came from your personal problem of, not necessarily being able to find the right shoes for you. Obviously, with ShoeFitr, it is dealing with the foot or the feet and with footwear. But you must have a personal interest in footwear yourself, though. How did the love of footwear come about?
I will be very honest. I'm not that like you see a lot of people from my age or younger generation. They are very in the sneaker business, sneakerheads, as we say. But I'm not that. I'm more around the purpose of I did see a problem, and I want to solve that problem. And by time, because I'm already, I will say, 4 or 5 years in this industry. So yeah, by time you learn and you get the love for shoes as well. But I'm not a typical guy that have 100 shoes in his closet.
You're not a sneakerhead then, Charles.
Not like that. Not like that. I rather solve the solution, have a greater impact on the world with it, and then someone else can buy the shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. So you really took it from a business opportunity perspective first, as opposed to being a lover of footwear, which is fine. I know many fashion tech founders, and actually most of the fashion tech founders that I work with don't actually come from fashion or any love for fashion of some sort, but they just find it as an interesting vertical to work in. So then you decided to obviously find a solution, or create a solution rather, that helped you to find the right fit for your feet. And how did you start actually creating ShoeFitr, the solution itself?
Like mostly of someone that begins starting a venture, you looking to working with different partners. Not every partner will make it to the end. So I had various of partners, and I will say we built an MVP around in the year 2000 and end of 2018, begin 2019. But I parted ways with the venture partner that I had on the time. And post COVID, I decided to rebuild the platform again. And I did it very lean. So yeah, that's, I think, also our advantage today, that we built a startup that's very lean. I can say till this date, we don't have very large venture capital into ShoeFitr. So I think that will be more sustainable as well.
And you mentioned there that not every partner, business partner makes it to the end. I completely hear what you're saying, Charles. It's very difficult to find the right partners, especially when you're at the start of your startup journey. Can you share more details, actually, what happened there and how did you decide to part ways from that particular individual?
It was a company as well, and they're making custom-made software. And I think the majority thing is that we were not that fully aligned because as well they are a company that dealing with other clients and that kind of thing. So I can understand if you can invoice, I will say, 100,000 in a month for ongoing business. And the startup that Charles brings to you that don't make that kind of money yet, I can understand that you need to take some considerations what you can do and what you not can do, because at the end they're also driving a business. So it's completely understandable. So I think maybe on that time it was not for me or for the venture what I thought in mind the right partner. I will not say that they are not good because obviously they're knowing what they're doing, but I think it was not matching at the time for me. And as well, when you also, and that's also another thing, also when you're dealing with less capital, so because they were a software company, and when you don't have outside capital, then you're relying more on their resources and on their people, and that can be very difficult. And then I can understand that they will make other decisions.
And I think the key word there is alignment. What does that mean to you specifically? And I guess as you move forward now, moving on from that situation, how are you going to check that you are aligned with your future business partners?
I think, for example, right now I'm working almost 2 years with an angel investor. So we're very aligned on the strategy, where we want to go, how we operate the business, as well with someone else that also joined ShoeFitr past year. I think you need to be accordingly with each other and respect everyone's decision ability as well. And then you can grow from a startup to a broader venture, I guess.
Absolutely. For our listeners, you are a father as well, Charles.
Yes.
And so you're a father and a founder, which isn't easy. I can't say myself because I don't have children, but how did you make the two things work?
It's very complicated as well because I'm separated with her mom, so and my daughter comes 50% here, so I have the half of the week. So it is a difficult task because sometimes, although she is 11 years old, but sometimes when you need to take a call or you have a meeting around 8 or 9 o'clock in the night, because we're dealing also with outside the Netherlands with clients and partners. Sometimes it's difficult that she understands why you're doing it, and also to let her understand, hey, what I'm doing is for a better future for you and I. That's my whole purpose. My purpose is not just making money today and get now an exit. Of course, you want to have later on an exit or something like that. But I always look in the long term, and my long term is that if I can provide for my daughter, and then she also can provide for the generation after her, and that's my goal. And sometimes you need to repeat it why you're doing this kind of things, and why also if someone goes on vacation and I'm not going on vacation, or that kind of things, that you need to make some decisions why you to grow further in life. So I think at the end it is like you think more about not now but later, and I think that's not everyone thinks like that, but that's how I am.
So your daughter is still quite young though, Charles, and does she really understand that concept? Because I'm not sure if my parents had that conversation with me when I was such an age, I'd be completely lost. I'd be like, what are you on about?
I will say she's 11 years old, and she already understands a lot of things, understood a lot of things. But I think she's, for the age, she's quite mature on that part. So you can have some talks with her about this kind of things, and of course, you will not say everything, and you will not say how many valuation your company is. That's the kind that you will not say because that's it's not relevant. Uh, but I think sometimes you can school them from a young age, and to let them know that not everything in life is granted, and some people need to work hard for what they will receive at the end. And I think it's a good thing to do.
Hard work and basically perseverance is what I'm hearing.
And dedication as well.
Absolutely. So then let's just go back to the ShoeFitr solution. So for our listeners that do not know what it is, what is it specifically?
So ShoeFitr is a web app that uses AI to generate foot measurements. And when we generate the foot measurements, we match it with inner shoe measurements. I will say in shoe terms, in the shoe industry terms, it's the shoe last data. And the shoe last is a wooden or a plastic shape. And from that shape, the shoes are developed, I can say. And if you match this kind of two data with each other, then we can say, hey, for this kind of shoe model, you will have a European size, a French size 38 woman, or you will have the 37. So that's basically what we're doing. We are very data volumetric based, busy.
And then fit and sizing for fashion is still extremely difficult, whether that's footwear or clothing or earrings, jewelry, accessories. It's just difficult all around. So nobody's really cracked the code. So how do you think that you've potentially cracked the code?
Yes, it is very a difficult task and very complicated as well. But I think what we are doing here at ShoeFitr is based on volumetric data. And that's the only way that you can crack the code. I don't believe in solutions that compare brands and things with each other. It's impossible to give out with this kind of solutions the right size advices. I don't believe that.
In terms of your previous, what you'd explained to us earlier in the episode, your personal story, have you brought that into trying to crack that code that we've just discussed? Like, is that pushing you forward? Yes, I really have to solve that challenge.
Yeah, of course, because the thing is, I'm someone that if you begin with something, then I want to solve it, and that's on that path we are right now to solve this kind of difficult, I will say complexity problems, to give out the right shoe size advice. But we need to say that it's not just only about giving a right shoe size advice. It's more behind that. You also want to do more regarding the environmental problems, because if you give out the right shoe size advice, it means there will be less returns. It means as well that there will be less trucks riding around to shipping the shoes back from the consumer to the web shops or to the local stores. So it is more than just only giving the right shoe size advice.
And then how does somebody get to experience the ShoeFitr app?
Like I said before, we are a web app, so you can integrate it through an API, and the experience is like it can be integrated in a web app, a mobile app, or any platform what you have. We generate links, and behind the links there are a button, and when you click, when you integrate the links and the button on your platform, you can press the button, and then our solution opens to an iframe. So we will stay on your environment. We will measure the feet after that, and then we will connect it with the inner shoe measurement what we have in our database, and then the consumer at the end will get the size advice. And then, hopefully they will buy the shoes. That's the flow.
In terms of your disability, Charles, and within fashion, the fashion industry isn't necessarily serving or catering to people like yourself. Why do you think that is? And do you think we're ever going to solve it as an industry?
I hope so. If I will not say if we will be one of the greatest company out there that will solve this problem, and I think it can make me or someone else like on the forefront to change things in the fashion industry. Because if they see that what I'm doing and I can change things in the fashion industry, maybe they will adopt it as well.
And do you think fashion is open to doing that?
I can only speak for the shoe industry, but I know the shoe industry is not an industry that's adopt technology and other things very fast. But what I can say, if you bring a good solution to one of the players in the industry, then the others will follow.
Yeah, so that's where you are making progress and as
Already.
ShoeFitr then being really the ones to change the footwear
Yeah.
industry. So what's next in store for you and ShoeFitr?
We have some great projects that we're busy with. I cannot disclose all the names yet.
Not yet, Charles, but we're going to hear very soon, yes?
You will hear it very soon. But yeah, we are in talks with, I will say, the biggest names of the industry.
So I'm just going to finish off this episode, Charles, with a quick fire round set of questions. So the first answer that comes into your head. Are you ready?
Yes.
Last pair of shoes that you purchased?
A Jordan shoe, Nike Air Jordan.
Nike Air Jordans, classic. Last time you got your feet measured?
2 days ago.
Was that ShoeFitr app or somebody else?
ShoeFitr app, of course.
ShoeFitr all the way. Sneakers or sandals? Sneakers or sandals?
I will say sneakers.
Comfy shoes or fashion shoes?
Comfy, comfortable, please, yeah.
And one tip that you'd give to aspiring founders?
Yeah, I will say dedication, believe in yourself, never give up, and do it, because a lot of people are talking, but they don't doing. And if you don't do, then you don't know.
Thank you very much, Charles.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to click follow to keep up to date with the latest episodes. And if you like this episode, please give us a review. If you want us to feature a specific theme or guest, please give us a message at beyondform.io. I will see you very soon.